Okay, we'll call the Public Works Committee meeting together, October the 6th, 2020. To call to order our roll call, Councilman, Reed.
Oh my Lord, she's forgot my name.
It might be a good thing.
Yeah.
Councilman Bott,
Here.
Town Manager,
Here.
Public Works, Mr. Spurlock, and myself. Okay, public participation, I don't see anybody's out there. The agenda adoption, do I hear a motion we adopt it?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. All right, the first thing on our agenda is the multimodal transportation project. And we're to consider the construction of a multi-use trail parallel to Maddox Boulevard. Mr. Spurlock? please?
Yeah, there are actually two options here, and this is something that we would fund with the Sarbanes grant. There's enough money in the contract that council already approved to do a little less sidewalk and do this trail parallel to Maddox Boulevard, which would connect basically Famouses to just the other side of Eel Creek. Two options that I can see there. One of them is, as you see depicted here, there's a town owns actually 100-foot parcel there right away. It goes, part of it would use an existing asphalt path there in front of what is now a kayak store. Part of it we would have to place additional asphalt, but it ties into Maddox Boulevard right up there by Eel Creek. The other option, and there's actually room, is to build it immediately adjacent to the existing shoulder. Cost is almost going to be identical. Because you're putting down less asphalt, but you're doing more base work. So I guess at this point in time, it's just up to the committee, number one, if they would like to pursue this, which I strongly recommend, just to get both pedestrians and bicycles off that dark stretch of Maddox Boulevard at night, which gets a lot of traffic. We said there's two options. We can go there if you do wish to pursue construction of this path and leave over a little bit of sidewalk around the circle.
If I can add, one of the reasons we propose this instead of a concrete sidewalk, it's less expensive, it's more useful because it's wider, and it doesn't create the drainage issues that a raised sidewalk would on that side of the road. That helps us in all three of those categories. We also heard comments from the council when it was proposed last that they did not want to funnel all bike traffic to the north side of Maddox Boulevard, and I think most everybody agreed that that was not a good idea. What we could do here, if we create that path on the north side, is to make it one way going west, and still the bike traffic would still be on the small shoulder going east on the south side of that road as it is now, riding on the right side of the road. But coming back, they would go down the new trail or the new path that we would be creating. We'd have to make it one way to keep bicyclists from opposing each other on that new path.
If you're going to do that, you might as well leave it on the side of the road then.
That's what I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, there's no point in putting a wider path off on that side if you're going to keep eastward bound still on the south side.
And we had discussed that it would be similar to what was done with the safe routes to school along Highway Wilton Smith.
Right.
It butts the shoulder, and the only difference is, the only issue with that, and Harvey and I discussed it this afternoon, we had to put the white sticks up on Highway Smith to keep cars from moving off onto that what appears to be an extended shoulder when it's actually a bike path.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we'd have a line there, and we'd have the bike symbols on that trail. facing one direction, to indicate that it was, one way only, but we still may have to add some sticks there later to keep, cars from actually using that as a shoulder, extended shoulder.
So, why couldn't we take the east, well, I guess, the side that's where our light poles are, over on Famous's side, why couldn't you not widen that to about, not only 10 foot, but maybe 15 feet? On Route 1 going to Rehoboth, there is a wide blacktop next to the road, and you can go either way with a bike. It's painted on there, direction one way or the other way, or walking. It's got 3 symbols. It's got 3 symbols on that. That's on Route 1 as you're going from Ocean City to Rehoboth.
And if I may, the VDOT standard for a multi-use trail, which is would just be designated for pedestrians and bicycles. One-way traffic is 5 foot. If you want to go two-way traffic, it needs to be 10 foot, and we have room to do either way.
If we widen this road and gave a little bit more space on the southern side, like if you adjusted, you know what I mean, it would take paving off to the side to the northern side. But you could move your lines over and give a little bit more room on that other side. If you added 10 feet to the northern side and moved all your lines over, and that would give you a little more room on both sides.
We're talking about actually moving the road.
Basically,
Oh my.
I mean, you're not really moving the road. You're moving the lines. You're adding 10 foot to the northern side and moving the lines over.
Right, but we would have to then build that 10-foot section, rated for traffic.
Yeah.
It's I'll call it a more significant undertaking to build a road bed and everything than just something for a bicycle.
Can you get any additional on the south side?
That's,
You're in your wetlands.
it's not, Chris, we cut a little bit, but it's not enough there to even, to bother with. 'Cause the
I'm
whole
just saying,
issue-
you're looking at something here we're gonna be using for the next 100 years. It would really be nice to get that south side, even if you got a little bit.
Well,
And then you
just,
got your north side maybe for your walkers and your bikes. And just bikes on the south side, you'd really be, I think, having something to work with then. I mean, I know it might be a pain, but it's, you're looking at something here, that we're gonna have this problem for the duration.
I certainly can investigate that,
We,
work with the Corps of Engineers.
we're definitely gonna have to look and see what kind of permits would be required, to get that close.
Which is primarily gonna be for the Corps, and just to give you an
What's the width on that shoulder right now? 2 foot?
No, it's about 5 foot.
It's close
It's close to 5 foot
yeah.
now.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, you do realize, and when you get up closer to Famous's, that their parking lot is in the right of way. It is the road.
Oh, I
Did you know that?
Yeah, I don't think you should stop the trail right there. I mean, you need to keep going through this farm.
But
Yes.
if you go through that parking lot, then are you putting people in jeopardy?
No, you're gonna be on this side of it.
That's another thing. You got people backing up out of there.
Yeah.
Well, it actually rides through that parking lot now.
Yeah.
If you're riding back from Assateague on the right side of the road, and you go around the circle on the
Yeah.
right side of the road,
Yeah,
we've
it's
got it
there.
marked. You continue it down in front of the old Parks Market and right down in front of Famous's, just like it's
Mhm.
marked.
Yeah.
The people I see, most people ride within 5 feet of the line for the road. They don't veer off in this Famous's parking lot that I've seen. And I know when I do it, I try to do that as well. I stay up close to the line, but yeah, you've got to watch it there because people are backing out all the time. But his parking lot is actually part of the right of way, which I think Steve understands that.
Yeah.
Sure he does.
Well, that way for him, it would be much better if we just kept it alongside the shoulder, just extended the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then you're not going way into his parking lot.
That's what my thoughts are, just to widen this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, widen what we got.
Widen right what you got, And not worry about the side that's over towards the marsh. If somebody chooses to ride over there, you can't stop that because a bicycle can ride any side, any part that they want to.
Well, they are gonna ride over there with the,
Yeah.
alongside
Yeah.
the road.
Right.
Probably gonna have to do away with some of his curbing,
Yeah.
the two entrances, if you do that.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
I
The
actually-
eyebrows, you mean?
Yeah.
I actually watched two bicycles the other day, they rode down the south side of Maddox, got to the traffic circle, crossed Maddox, went around the circle the wrong direction, going to Aspen.
Well, you can't do nothing about
Even if we were
sometimes.
to, even if we were to do this and just widen the shoulder like we're discussing, we can still look into widening the south side of that road. It's gonna take a little longer, I'm sure, but.
Yeah, I was talking about that for the future.
For the
Oh,
future,
yeah. I
yeah.
mean, this is something that we get money, we wouldn't have to quit on.
Mhm.
But we're just trying to make something now that's serviceable.
Oh, I think, yeah, for now, this is great. I just think in the future, it's nice now, you're splitting them all out on the south side.
Right.
You can divert that traffic, half going on the south.
Now, is
and
that
half
town
on-
property, that this line, that line's actually is on town property, the one that's
Yeah.
showing here?
Yeah.
Yes.
It goes all the way back behind the first light poles, you know where the lights are?
Mhm.
It goes back, way back. It's 100 foot in there.
Yeah, the right of way is 100 feet between Eel Creek and, all the way to the bridge, isn't it?
Uh-huh. That takes in the
And my
museum.
understanding, when the county gave us the land that the, chambers on, the inside of the traffic circle, this was actually part of that same parcel. Yep.
Mhm.
But even if we go 2 foot to the south side,
That's a huge difference.
that's
It
a
is.
huge difference. I
It
mean,
is.
you got
I'm
2
talking
foot
about
there
even-
now.
Even a foot, I mean, I ride my bike, if I could have another foot, you'd be.
Yeah, my God, yeah, that's plenty, get them
It's
away
not-
from traffic. And I know you
It's
got-
the narrowest 5 foot I've ever seen.
And it's asphalt, it's not like you're
I actually,
building concrete.
I actually took off last week, one night, and it was dark, but I rode that entire thing all the way to the bridge and back from my house and rode the trail. And it is 5 feet, but an extra 2 foot would be huge
Yeah.
on the south side. And there, I mean, we'll take a closer look at it. We may have enough, I mean, we'll get the core right just to make sure, but we may have enough there already where we're not gonna, affect any wetlands. We may be able to go ahead and do it.
Yeah. Well, I make a motion, we look into extending the south side and definitely extending the north side of what we've already got.
Second?
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Before you, finalize that, how, when you say widen, how wide?
You want 10 foot to 15 foot?
Yeah, on the north side.
Wide enough for 2 lanes?
Wide
Yeah.
enough, 10 to 15 foot?
And
That way you got a walking path and a bike path
Yes.
at the same
And
time.
the other question was, would that path be immediately adjacent to the existing pavement, or are we gonna separate it?
No, I would put it immediately adjacent.
Immediately
I
adjacent.
would too.
Is there a
Chris?
drainage in there, Harvey?
Yeah.
And on that side?
Yeah, there's a drainage ditch, you can kind of see there.
Yeah, that swale.
It's not so much a drainage as it is a water holder.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's a washover.
Yeah.
But the drainage pipe, there's a DI in that ditch.
Yeah.
And it doesn't extend that back.
Okay, so it is to look into extending maybe a foot or 2 feet on the south side, and then on this north side to go ahead and extend from where it is now, 10 to 15 feet,
Yeah.
okay,
Adjacent.
adjacent to what's already there.
Yep.
Okay,
And this includes all the markings and all that good stuff, that's all part of it, all the.
yeah. And are you gonna put delineators down there also, or you don't know yet?
Probably, but they wouldn't be, you know, they'd be a lot further apart.
Okay,
The standard, VDOT standard is, unless it's in a curve, you can put them 40 foot apart.
40 foot?
Yeah. It wouldn't be quite as obnoxious. And I know
Alright.
Councilman Reed loves it.
Yeah, I know, but that's okay, I'll
That's
take.
just a tight corner.
Yeah. I've been using that coming in there like he does, so I know the feel. do we need to take this to the council, or?
Like I said, the council's already approved the contract, the
Right.
Sarbanes contract work. This is just be a little bit contract modification, and we'd be building this path in lieu of sidewalk.
So we need to go ahead, do we need to ask for blessing on that, or no?
I wouldn't think so, because it's
No.
already been passed.
Yeah,
Okay.
they've already funded it.
Okay, all right, well, we want to be transparent.
Right. But I think it's already been passed, no, the specific building material was not talked about. So when you give your update, you'll be letting council know that
Yes,
what's
that
going
it's
on.
asphalt instead of
Right,
cement.
yeah,
I
Okay,
think we discussed that option, but we didn't.
that's, we did,
yeah,
but we
okay.
said we were gonna discuss it here first.
Right, we did because of the complaint that we had coming from the council.
Right.
And we wanted to go ahead. Okay, the next thing on our agenda is, consider purchase or installation of a stormwater check valve. As you see in the picture, you see that pipe coming out there? I do not know who put it there.
I've been told the town did, and it does, and I've been over there and verified this. It's actually draining Maddox Boulevard, not his property.
We're talking right here.
Right. So how is that draining? Is it that much water on Maddox Boulevard because that pipe is high? It's not way down low.
It is, but you can actually see there the dark staining in the grass.
Yeah.
Yes, I went over there during one of those lovely rainstorms we had, and Maddox Boulevard's got a fair amount of turtleback to it, a lot of which runs into that ditch we were just talking about. But as you get down closer this way, there is no ditch. So the runoff of Maddox Boulevard runs into that little swale there and out that pipe into the marsh. And we started this, Steve Pacetos requested we consider installing a check valve in that pipe. And again, I've been over there and verified that when you do get a high tide, you get some backflow through that pipe.
Well, I know you would from the high tide because from the back coming over, yeah, but it's gonna pour in.
Well, if it gets, and I haven't shot any actual grade, but just, eyeball 8 to 10 inches higher the tide, everything over there overwashes.
Yeah, I know it
So,
Yeah, but like I've preached before with check valves, it's a time buyer for a little bit. I mean, it gives you an hour or so of time to let the tide get up and get back down before you already pre-flood everything with stormwater through drains. I think every drain on this island that is, which everything goes overboard here. So I mean, pretty much everything should have a check valve in it, honestly, especially adjacent to a business like this. So.
So the cost of it is $1,180 plus the freight. To put a check valve in that drain.
and that
Should we have a grate of some sort, like a catch basin for this to go into?
See, they call it DI.
Dress it up a little bit more.
I mean, that's kind of
Tacky looking.
yeah.
It's a ghetto there, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of congestion right there.
There's a lot going on there with the cable phone box and the signs and the poles and the TV box.
Well, to put a DI there too, we might have to relocate it just a little so we don't have to dig in that phone box.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if we're going to go through the process of adding on to the width of this, I mean, all of that probably needs to be redone anyway, regraded and.
Well, the big reason I would hesitate to do that, to install a DI in there, we're gonna have to lower that whole pipe. Cause you can kinda, our smallest DIs is close to a foot between the grate and the invert of the pipe going out.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Why-
further compounds the problem of the backflow, which we're gonna put a check valve in there, hopefully we'll eliminate it. The big question, and I can't answer this without actually going and doing elevation. Could we get a DI in there low enough to catch any water?
Yeah, and like I said, you might would have to wait until you get this project done to see where things are going to run off and how things need to be graded.
That's very true. I mean,
Yeah.
it'll change the character of it a little bit as you put some.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know exactly what it's gonna do. I mean, it could,
Cause that does go uphill.
oh yeah, yeah,
Like
you can see it
goes
in the
uphill,
picture, yeah.
And water don't run uphill.
Not usually.
So why do we have a pipe there anyway?
I don't know.
Or
Hard to
there's been, you know, I've talked to the historians that's been there forever, and supposedly the town put it there, and again, to,
Well, all that fill you can see in that picture has been added in the past 10 years.
yes, it has.
So it looks like to me they put a drain pipe in when they put all that fill there.
No, no.
Because it looks like a ditch at one time cut all the way across there to drain out. And when they added that fill, they put the pipe in so it would continue to drain. Cause Mr. Wayne put all that stuff there because it was water coming across there at a pretty good clip.
Yeah.
And I can remember him bringing dump loads of fill there to make a sort of a hill.
Right.
I don't know if that was when Travis was building that building.
That could have been,
I
you're
believe it
right,
was.
that's when that was, cause it was just about flat across there.
That's been 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The time flies.
More.
Don't look now.
But
Why couldn't we just, as Matt said, go ahead and do the extending of this bike path? And be looking at that later? We don't have to spend all the money just yet, do we?
No, I mean, and this is actually would be funded by the urban maintenance money, it wouldn't be funded by survey.
Okay.
This is a drainage structure for Max Boulevard, so that's perfectly good.
So, once you build this on the northern side, then you can see how it's going to do when you get the rains on what you might need to do.
Yeah, well, I can pretty much guarantee you the water will still come in that pipe.
Oh, I'm sure it will, yeah, when the tide.
Oh,
comes
yeah,
up.
I think we definitely still need to do a check valve, but I mean, I guess the check valve was still, we're gonna need it regardless. It would still work for us at some point in time, even if you have to change this pipe around.
Yeah,
So, I make a motion that we approve the check valve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Now, Harvey, does that have to go in front? Nope, okay. Keep you straight. Keep you transparent.
I mean,
it'll come before the council in your report, but we don't need to vote on it.
Okay,
That's a small amount.
all right. Okay. The next thing is is the ditch maintenance, and the reason why I asked Harvey to put this on here was because a certain party supposed to be here tonight, and, they're not. But anyway, there was water over on Rosedale Drive. And I mean, it was a lot of water, wasn't going nowhere. So Public Works go over and they dig the end of the drain pipe, which is a driveway. Somebody had mashed it down and shut it down, so the water was backing up on all the other neighbors. It wasn't going anywhere, but Harvey had them over there and they were able to get that open. Harvey, you want to take it from here?
No, I mean, that's.
Is that-
I guess the bigger picture, and again, this is my perspective, I pay a fair amount of attention to every drainage structure on this island, including ditches. Yes, Rosedale was a big issue, and I think we resolved that. If there are others, I need to be made aware of them some way. I'm missing something. The county has greatly changed their spider program, we used to call it. They bring that walking excavator in. They basically won't go in a tidal ditch anymore. Is the short answer to that, which just about every ditch we've got, of course, is a tidal ditch to some extent. So we're not gonna be able to rely on the county to do a lot of the maintenance that they used to do. The big addition that would help Public Works, they make a grading bucket we can buy to fit our excavator, which would allow us to do a lot of that work ourselves. Cost is $3,500 to $4,000. And again, I hate to keep spending on VDOT money, but it will all be used for roadside ditches, so it would be an eligible expense, from the VDOT drainage line item. Kind of in a nutshell, like I said, if there are ditches that anywhere is aware of, that, just about every ditch we have on the island now has phragmitis in it. I haven't come up with a good scheme to stop that, but, we cut what we can roadside. And, of course, phragmitis comes back very shortly, but, phragmitis per se doesn't stop the water flow. It gets other stuff, I don't know if it occasionally, that will stop water flow.
Any vegetation will do that. I mean,
Sure.
But
So,
what we proposed this afternoon, Harvey and I talked about, was making an inventory or listing of drainage problems we have, and I'm talking about ditches now, not major drains or major canals or anything, but just ditch problems that we have in residential areas, commercial areas, and making a list, getting an inventory, and then
Right.
we'll start ticking them off.
right, but we need equipment. If you don't have the equipment, you can't very well do it. They're not going to go out there with shovels and dig anymore.
Well, we could, but no,
Well,
it's much
no,
more.
not many.
It's much more efficient to.
Yes,
to
it is.
Get it
And-
done with a piece of equipment.
Well,
for
the
sure.
Right.
way I was always told, if you're getting paid, you do what you're told when you're to get paid.
Oh, that's true,
Whether it
too.
is use a shovel or whether it's use the backhoe, that's the way it works, the way I understand it, but.
No, but if you've got another piece of equipment back there, and all you have to do is add on something to it, that you would be able to do this on any of our drainage.
Yeah, I think we need.
Oh, we need the
unnecessary-
grading bucket, for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, you don't
You're
have it.
talking about like that ditch between Hunkapick there and Jerry Tar where I live, that, we have to keep that thing open. He and I keep it open or the whole thing backs up. You'd be able to take this thing right along it and,
Yeah, and you would.
Right.
yeah, that's what we need.
So this is what we're talking about. We need the equipment.
And if we have an inventory of problem areas, then we can go to work on it.
Sure.
Harvey's aware of one. We've been talking about it for about 3 years now.
Yeah, Mr. Talbot got a earful of that this morning, actually.
Which one?
At the foot of the bridge.
No.
No,
No.
no,
Oh, yes,
Well,
yes,
anyway.
yes, we did discuss that.
because my neighbor there
Mhm.
has a no pipe at all, or it is a pipe, but it's collapsed and no good. And we fought with him over taking a piece of concrete up that's not even his, it's on town property. And as far as I know, that's what I've always been told, that's at your discretion to put concrete on town property, and at any time it needs to be fixed, it can
Exactly.
be took up.
If it's in the
Exactly.
right of way and we have to maintain the right of way, we have the right to take it up.
Well,
That's
then-
what I've always been told.
Well,
Yes.
that's what I've always been told, and I think it's high time that his gets took up. I hate to say it, but
It was done before, back over on the other street.
the problem with the ditch of mine, and Harvey knows, I'm landlocked. Dad had his ditch filled in on the south side of me, and they put a catch basin there, which is up higher than the ditch, and I'm at the point in time I was the high point on the street.
Right.
And then the other end, John Shields driveway, has it landlocked to go that way, which I was the high spot, and then it goes from me to Sunset, and from me to East Side. And the last big heavy rain we had, it was clear all the way up into the yard again with nowhere to go, except for seeping into the ground, so.
Couldn't get out.
So I know for a fact that if we open up, that's the most troubled spot, is from my driveway to John Shields' driveway. And that's the main problem, is opening up that side, I think, and that would definitely,
It's in the right of way, it's in the right, if it's in the right of way, it's in the right of way, and the town has a right to maintain it. We did that over on the last street over, and he no longer lives there, but he got upset. But that's okay, they did a good job, they cut right down the center of that, put that new
Oh.
pipe in.
We have a walk behind
Right back.
concrete saw, they do a wonderful job.
Oh, yeah, They did.
Well, I mean, typically now, any new driveways, we always try to have everybody put a expansion or key lock at the property
We
line.
do, and they actually, the other thing that's changed now, to put anything permanent in the VDOT right away, you have to get a land use permit.
Yeah.
So, okay, do I hear a motion, or just, how do you feel about ordering the bucket?
I'll make a motion to order the bucket.
A second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay. Next on our agenda is any comments from the committee? Matt?
I don't have anything.
Anybody else have anything?
No.
Do you have a motion we adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All right, thank you, guys.